Hey everybody, welcome to the 7th annual Rainbow Alianza flag raising here in the city of Lawrence. Please feel free to join us. We're an intimate group, so please feel free to make your way towards the podium. Can y'all hear me all right?
Okay.
Yeah? All right. So, I'm JV Song. I'm an artist, workshop facilitator, educator, poet from the city of Lawrence. I'm here to do a land acknowledgement. As we all journey through life, we wish to acknowledge the spiritual and physical connection the Penacuk, Abenaki, and Wabanaki people have maintained to Ndakina, and the Aki, water, Nibi, flora, Lolakwikak, and fauna, Awasak, of a small part of which is now Lawrence. The greater Lawrence area was once a major Penacuk settlement along the Merrimack River. They called it Moldemak, deep water. The Alimbak, the indigenous original human beings, ask you to acknowledge the hardships that they have continued to suffer throughout countless generations after the loss of their unceded ancestral homelands. They seek your help to foster relationships and opportunities that strengthen the well-being of all living things as we all carry forward the traditions of their indigenous ancestors. Thank you. Now you'll hear from Laura Alefantes.
Hi, thank you very much for everyone coming today. I really want to appreciate and recognize that this is the seventh annual Pride flag raising here in the city. So coming together and helping to provide a safe space in this community and supporting each other in unity across all lines of difference that we have here, which is race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, and religion. So identifying everybody's story, which is different, is important. And understanding what pride really means. Pride can mean just being out and being proud of yourself, or questioning things, and having the courage to be able to speak and act on your feelings and interact and involve people in your life, and that's important. So together as a community, especially in the Lawrence community, really being able to show face and to be able to come together to provide safe spaces to everyone is very, very important. It shows the strength and resilience and the connections that the LGBT community has, which enables us to show the pride and the acceptance that we feel and hope to be able to share to others who don't really have a voice yet. So that's what our goal is every time we raise this flag. And we stand here today in pride, but we also want to remember the celebrations and how they began. It wasn't just a moment we're all celebrating and having parades. This actually happened 53 years ago, and that was through the Stonewall riots, where a group of gay residents had to come together and protest from Greenwich Village in New York, protesting because they want to live freely and actively without fear of being arrested, regardless of their sexual orientation. And 7 years ago, to start the Rainbow Alianza, the reason how that came about was in a moment where we wanted to recognize the Pulse nightclub victims that were shot needlessly for just being free and open and able to accept themselves and be happy that they're able to do it without any restrictions. And unfortunately, their lives were taken from them just for doing such a thing. So because of that, the Rainbow Alianza was formed, and our mission as the Rainbow Alianza is to organize events and provide safe spaces that nourish and strengthen the LGBT community in the city of Lawrence. Since 2016, we have partnered with local individuals, organizations, and corporations to carry out this mission in a collaborative and democratic manner. So we really applaud everyone that comes each year and supports these actions. I do want to highlight and acknowledge that Waralpa made these beautiful lotus flowers, and that's also one of the representations of the Rainbow Alianza and also who we are as a community. Every day we are facing, oppression or, disrespect or not feeling some sort of inclusion, whether it be a language barrier or physical or sexual orientation. We all feel those limitations in some degree. And just like the lotus flower, it grows from murky water every day. It reblooms every morning, regardless of how murky it is or how sunny it is going to stand up. And that just proves, it just shows the resilience. It symbolizes the strength that we have and the constant rebirth that we have for ourselves and for our community. We don't let things get us down, and we need to recognize and remember that even though we're not always at the top of our game, we're still here, we're still present, we still have a voice. So I really want to make sure that everyone understands that and understands that this is a safe space to do so. I do want to represent that. I know that Mayor Brian DePena was not able to attend today, but Thomas Michael will be here, and he will be able to represent the mayor. So I wanted him just to come up and just to acknowledge that he is here and that we do have the support of the mayor's office and the whole city of Lawrence, that we're here to really make sure that we, just as a city, we have the safe spaces, and we're going to continue this, advocacy. So, Thomas, did you want to say anything?
So, good afternoon, community of Lawrence. My name is Tomas Mecho, project coordinator at the mayor's office. And I am here today in representation of Mayor DePena. Today we are raising the rainbow flag because we, the American LGBTQ plus community, have had to fight many battles to be treated as our similarly situated other citizens in this nation. In one of those battles, on January 16, 2015, in the Obergefell v. Hodges case, the United States Supreme Court granted, on a 5-4 decision, that same-sex couples have the right to marry their significant others, protected by the Equal Protection Clause and the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. On April 22, 2019, SCOTUS granted us another battle in which it expanded our rights under the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits employers from discriminating against any individuals based on race, color, religion, national origin, and sex. To have sex include sexual orientation and gender identity. Yes, we have been victims of individual, institutional, and structural discrimination. And more likely than not, we will be facing differentiated treatment many times more based on bias and bigotry. Yet we have won too many battles. Now we are warriors, and victims no more. The current administration of the Lawrence municipality, led by Mayor DePena, is committed to diversity and inclusion. As one of the 351 municipalities of the Commonwealth, we are focused, I always have problems with that word. We are focused on moving our community forward in equity, considering our different challenges and experiences in society, for a future with equal justice under the law for every single American citizen, including the LGBTQ plus members of this community. It is essential that we recognize that we have a voice and that we can use it for change. Safety is an issue that we need to talk about. Compliance is another, but certainly without leaving behind our condition as human beings. Today, Mayor DePena lent me his megaphone so that I could speak, and I am aware of the privilege that it represents. A privilege that others like me do not have access to in other parts of the world. This city first executive is governing and leading in the best interest of the people he serves. And I can attest with a certainty beyond reasonable doubt. Thank you for being here present.
Thank you so very much for that. I also want to acknowledge, like I said, the support of the City Hall and its department heads that have been here. Michael from Inspectional Services, I apologize. Jorge Hyman from DPW, City Councilor Ana Levy. I know there are more, there's Selena. So I apologize if I don't see everybody, but I want to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that you're, Frank Cirillo, okay? And I just want to appreciate everyone and say thank you very much. And I applaud you. Jonathan, thank you very much for coming and being here. That's very important. So anyone who's in office in a department and is supports themselves as a leader or tries to show as a leader, leaders, lead by example. And you being here today is very important. The Lawrence Police Force is being here. We have some of the fire department members here too. I really appreciate that, and we do as a whole community. And that's part of creating safe spaces. And one of the things that we want to talk about too, as we're raising the flag, again, it's about pride and happiness and excitement, and that's exactly what we want to have. But we also want to recognize there's still things that we're fighting for. And one of the things that, as you hear in the news, the bill that's going to say the Don't Say Gay trans bill. That's going to be an issue for everyone across the board if it continues to be accepted. This ban will ban all sexual instruction and gender identity in schools, and it appears to threaten the LGBT support in the schools, which includes. You okay? You got it? Thank you. That could effectively out students to their families without their consent. It'll disallow children and students to have a voice and to be able to find the resources to come out and be safe and being able to say, this is who I am, and until they're able to come out and say, if you say it, then you're banned and you're going to be outed, and it'll cause irreparable harm and disdain to young students who are trying to come out, because it raises the suicide rate in young adults. Not having a safe space in our schools, not having a safe space within our cities and within our community and our members, it really increases the likelihood that a young child or a young adult or even an elder, when they're finally able to say, this is who I am and I'm proud, if they don't have that ability to have that safe space and that voice, the chances of them committing suicide increases drastically. So I just want you to be mindful of that and being able to allow for safe spaces in your departments and in the city. If you're interacting and going out, be a voice. Don't just hold back and not don't allow for disrespect or discrimination at all. So please be mindful. Kids are listening. Kids are always listening, and I just want you to be aware of that. So in order to help lower the percentage of suicide rates in schools, please use your voice. Is that okay? Are you ready? Okay. JV would like to come back up before we raise the flag.
I'm gay, and I write gay things. Thank you, right? Only day I'll be applauded for that. Wow.
No. Every day.
You probably heard this piece before if you came last year. That's okay, hear it again. Se llama Con acento en la O. I know truth is subjective, cause we write with perspective, with point of view, but I spit for me and can't speak for you. Gotta spit my truth for me and my crew. I spit for Simón, el gran varón, spit loud, spit proud, spit for my own crowd. I spit for the boys with a lisp, the ones who sway their hips. Being brown wasn't enough for us, so we just had to be rainbow. I spit for the kids the internet raised. I spit for me at 14, eyes on a screen, tasting words on my tongue for the first time, reading everything I could find. Daydreaming about revolution, reading Davis. I spit for the ones who set the stage for me to say this, for the ones who taught me God made this too. Got a wild tongue and can't nobody tame it. They say to exercise a demon, you first gotta name it. So I'll tell you, I spit against capitalist is heteropatriarchy, and my tongue is anointed even if my tone be pointed. I'll bring the world forward even if I gotta drag it. Gonna queer the revolution, yeah, we gonna I spit for the black and indigenous, Spit poeta, spit wordsmith, spit lyricist, spit veneno like saliva, spit fuego y agua viva, I spit revolución, spit maricón, spit con acento en la O. Also, black trans women gave us pride. Make sure you do something next month for a black trans woman, all right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, we want to recognize the trans community and really recognize and giving them a face. Visibility is important, regardless of where you are and what you're doing. So please be supportive and use your voice. So I want to invite you up. Would you like to come up and we'll raise the flag? I know that we want to keep in order of time and place. And Thomas. Yeah, it's all trucked up. That look right, y'all? That look all the way up there? Yeah. As we raise the 7th annual Pride flag, and recognizing on the flag, if you notice, there are differences. It's just not the regular rainbow flag. There's also the trans support, the black and the brown colors, to also recognize that people of color have a voice as well, and we need to make it as inclusive as possible. So I want to thank you for joining. I'm going to have JV come back up here. So on behalf of Rainbow Alianza and myself, Laura Elefantis, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you very much, Martha, for always being here too, for supporting, and Wendy Luzon being here. So I know I missed a few names, but I want to let you know that I am so thankful and supportive of every one of you, and I want to say thank you for being supportive here as well.